We welcome Oldham County Judge Executive David Voegele in this morning with me. Good morning, Judge.
Hey, good morning, Chris.
Good to see you back.
Well, it's good to be seen.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you.
And since when we last spoke several months back, you were just getting ready to have your knee replacement done.
Yes, I'm happy to say that was a successful surgery.
Good deal.
And I'm walking around with no pain. And I have I guess I don't know if it's titanium or what kind of metal is in my knee, but it works great. And
the bionic judge, we'll call you. There you go.
I even somehow or other lost my balance and fell off my front porch and landed right on my knee. And
oh, no.
I was able to I had a little help getting up, but I was able to get up and walk around.
And no damage.
No damage.
That's the best news.
So I know it works well.
Good deal. Well, thank you for coming in again this morning. There's so much that's happened since we've had you on the program here last. I got several things I want to ask you about. I guess first, the Oldham County Police Department moving from their current location over to what used to be open range.
Right. That is going to be a big project this year. An opportunity came up for us to purchase that building, and we discussed it for 60 or so days with the owner, and it has a shooting range within the building for rifles and pistols, and that works out perfect for the law enforcement personnel we have in the county, all the police, the sheriff, the detention center personnel, and there are other area law enforcement agencies that come there and also practice, firing their weapons.
Right.
It's a requirement that they have a certain amount of practice over the course of the year, so we're going to allow those organizations to continue to use that. It's going to take us, I don't know exactly, it might take 6 months to actually get squared around and get from Buckner. Our police are in 2 buildings in Buckner now, administration in 1 building and detectives in another, but we'll all be unified in 1 building, and it's going to take us a little while to get there. We had an architect there yesterday looking at the building, and we're going to have to remodel the interior for offices and locker room space and meeting space and so forth. And our current facility is completely out of storage space for evidence related material. We're going to have a lot of space in the new building, so we're really excited about it, and I think it's going to work out great.
And what will the old police station be used for then once they actually
Well, I don't really know at this point. I suspect it'll be some government-related agency. We don't have a plan at this point, but right. We don't have excess space, so there will be, I know there will be something that comes along that can use it. The parole building down on Commerce Parkway got torched by some unhappy individual.
Have they determined whether that was arson?
Yeah, well, I haven't heard.
Okay.
You think it might be somebody who's dealing with it was unhappy, but they wanted to ask if we had space, but it didn't have any space right now for them to move into. So, but something will come up, I'm sure, and maybe we'll attract something new into the county that will provide some jobs that aren't there now.
That'd be great. That'd be great. And what's the latest on the courthouse construction? Of course, this is continuing, and it's is it slated to be done the end of next year or the end of this year?
Well, no. The courthouse has crept into, let's say, the first quarter of 2026.
Okay.
We're disappointed to hear that, but there were some issues with windows that the person that bid the windows got the bid for windows, went to the manufacturer, and the manufacturer says, well, we're not making those windows anymore.
Oh, great.
Oh, well, that threw a curve into the thing. So we've had to back up, and the windows are putting a delay in it. So it was supposed to be finished at the end of next year. Now it's crept into the spring of the following year, 2026. So yes, someday it will be finished, and
it will be beautiful when it's done.
I think it will. And I've had a couple of comments from people that say, "Well, boy, that's a huge building."
Right.
In my own home, my wife has questioned the size of that building, but we wanted to keep it in downtown LaGrange because it is sort of a heart of the city, if you will.
Yeah.
People coming there, and other communities have moved their courthouse outside their central city. And I talked to several county judges about it. They all told me it was a mistake, that they wish they hadn't done it. So, and this is the type of thing that once you do it, it's going to be there the rest of our lifetime, for our children, grandchildren, maybe great-grandchildren, I don't know. It's not the kind of situation you can make a mistake on and change. It has to be right the first time.
And this year, 2024, is a big year for Oldham County. This is our bicentennial celebration.
You hit it, and we're excited about that. Oldham County was formed on February 15th, 1824 by the legislature. They actually approved creating the county in December, but they gave the local residents a 60-day head start, or notice that you can get your act together in 60 days, and we'll start on February 15th. And so we're going to have a year-long celebration tied into the events that go on in the community, plus some new events. I have asked a number of people to be on a bicentennial committee. We've got about 25 people on this committee. We're getting organized and laying out some plans. And how do you have a birthday party for 70,000 people? I'm not sure, but we're going to do our best.
We'll have fun doing it.
We're going to do it, and I hope by this time next year, everybody in Oldham County will know that we're 200 years old, and we're proud of our community, and treasure what we have here, and are thankful for the people that went ahead of us to help create the community.
And we will be passing along all the information and all the events for this year's bicentennial. We just started the new year, so we got a whole year to have fun with this and enjoy it. Now, a couple other things too that I want to talk to you about before we close out for this month. The 71 interchange project. Now, that's been kind of stop and go, not stop and go. They've always been working, but we were told a while back that it was hoping to reopen pretty soon, but there's been a delay in that too.
Well, we were told mid-December to look to open the ramps on I-71 at the Ernie Harris Parkway, but the actual contractors had until the end of March to get the job done. Now we're told it might be another month or so. I don't know exactly what's happened, but they had the ability to move their equipment in and out of this project to other projects to try to maximize the use of their equipment and the weather type days that we've had. And so it's put some extra time into the opening the ramps. They're still within the contract period. So, you know, like the old saying it goes, you don't have any bitch coming, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So you know, we have to put up with it. But it can't open soon enough as far as I'm concerned. And I would like to say that we do have the police, we bought 4 Chevy Silverado trucks that we're outfitting to be on the interstate. They won't all be out there at once, but they're going to be out there enforcing traffic. Try to assure the people in our community that we're doing as much as we can to slow down these people from Ohio and other places that come through Oldham County.
I've noticed that too. I think everybody has. You know, everybody says, "Oh, those Buckeyes coming down from Ohio." They just because the police apparently are so bad in Cincinnati. As soon as you cross the river, they're like, "Oh, it's free for all now."
We're at the speedway here. Now. Let's take off. And well, we don't want to blame it all on Ohio.
No, we can't do that.
But for some reason, people just have a really heavy foot in a bad situation. We have more accidents southbound than northbound. I've asked for as much enforcement as we can get out there. Normally we have, you know, let's say 5 to 7 officers out across the county on patrol during the day. We can't put them all on the interstate or focus everything out there because other types of calls are coming in that they need to respond to. But we are trying to create as safe an environment as we can.
And finally, before we close out tonight, this morning, you mentioned before we came on the air about renovations being done at Schambach Park down in Westport.
Yes, sir. We've ordered a new pavilion for Schambach Park. It's going to be in the southwest corner, up on the highest ground in the park. It's 30 feet wide and 70 feet long. It's not exactly like the building in Springs Park that Mayor Black has built, but it's close, and It's a wooden structure. And it's going to be really nice. We're also adding 2 restroom buildings there, brand new, clean, open.
That's going to be
so
great.
That'll help a lot because going to a public restroom in a park is a kind of a challenging experience. But
it can be.
Sometimes you have to do it.
You got to go. You got to go.
And,
And Westport's such a beautiful town, so much history down there too. It's great to see
Yes.
work going into that park and make it a place that people can come down to. And if you haven't been there before, check it out when everything's done down
We'll
there.
be staging at least 1 or 2 bicentennial events in Westport. Westport was the original capital or county seat in Oldham County. Our forefathers debated between Westport and LaGrange and one other location, doesn't even exist anymore, where this county seat was going to be. In the long run, it took about 10 years to actually settle this argument. LaGrange won out in the long run, and that's where the courthouse was eventually completely built. It was actually started in 1828, but then they went back to Westport, and then they came back to LaGrange, and they argued and wrestled about it, but LaGrange won out in the long run.
And looking forward to getting more announcements on that coming up.
I did want to, when I walked in the door here, you were playing George Jones. It caused me to think, remember 50 years ago, I was playing George Jones.
Were you really?
Yes, I worked at a radio station in Minneapolis, and at WMIN. It was called the Big Country Giant, and
the big one.
We play all these. I thought George Jones still around,
Oh yeah.
Played Ferlin Husky and Kitty, Wells, and Kenny Rogers was with the Fifth Edition or something way back in the day, and we were joking that things used to be 10 and 20 years ago. Now they're 50 years ago.
I know. The days keep going, the years keep going. And if you like classic country, we do that every Saturday night, 6 to 10 right here. Just the good classic country
Right.
before they messed it up with pop in the
Right, I like it now. I can't actually say I liked it way back in the day. We had engineers that played the records, and the announcers sat in the booth and turned their mic on and off. And
Right.
a lot of times we'd turn down the sound in our booth, and then we turn it back up when the record was over.
The good old days. The good old days. Thank you so much, County Judge Executive David Voegele, for coming in. Look forward to seeing you again next month for another update. And I want to remind people, too, that you can watch this morning's interview on the Oldham County Fiscal Court YouTube channel. So if you missed it all, you can always check a little bit there. Jay will have it posted for you so you can see what we talked about.
Well, thank you for your interest and support in our community, and we're happy to try to support you and help you succeed. And we're glad to have this station in Oldham County and LaGrange.
Well, thank you very much, Judge. We want to be the voice of Oldham County, so folks, just keep us on. Thank you, Judge. We'll talk to you again next month. That's County Judge Executive David Voegele.